Shirley Pierantoni Pinheiro. I am a licensed social worker. I have my LMSW, and I'm the director of the Shorefront Y after school / camp at PS 225 in Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, which is a partnership between the City of New York, the Shorefront YMYWHA, and PS 225. I am directly responsible for all aspects of the after school and camp program, which includes activities, providing a safe environment, planning, workshops, everything that it entails. Because kids learn in different ways to engage them, we included the performing arts, which is dance and drama and puppeteering and all other types of activities.
I've been involved since maybe 2000, 2001. I started off as a program participant. I was there from 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, junior high. I volunteered. You know, I was separated from the program for a little bit in high school, but then I came back as a volunteer, and then I got a job. And I've worked all my way up to program coordinator, so since 2000, so I'm gonna say like good 14, 15 years.
The level of appreciation that the kids have for what they get, what they're given, or what they get to do here every day is far beyond what you would expect. Sometimes I'll come in, or I'm sure other people too, and it seems like you're giving them an opportunity that is less than grand. It's like no big deal. You just show up and you have a class with them. But their response is overwhelmingly positive almost all the time. And that's a very humbling and encouraging thing, because it turns out that, hey, look, the efforts of the counselors and the teachers matter here. And the bigger the effort, the bigger the effect. And you can see that right away.
I remember seeing myself like shy and very quiet. Now I'm more talkative, like easy to talk to, and more open, and like I would participate more, I guess.
In the program?
Yes.
Like in like a day school and like outside?
Outside, inside, anywhere.
And you think that's because of being here?
Yeah.
Being a student, you will never know. Sometimes even being, you know, a volunteer or even a staff member, you never realize how much goes into the program. And with every role, I had to gain more knowledge, I had to gain more skills. But at the end of the day, you know, it has made me who I am, and it has made me a better person. And I feel like I've grown so much here that I can go out into the real world and like I'll be prepared for everything.
Okay, who wants to put a repeated addition one on the board?
You know, the program is not just the kids. It's the kids and their siblings. It's the children and their families, the family and the community, the school as a whole, but it's also the staff that helps make this possible, to see them grow throughout the years and become professionals and be out in the world and also making a difference. That's an awesome experience.
I have this mentality of I was not a kid person because I guess I deal better with adults, but once I started working here, like that'll change. Like I love kids, I really do. And I guess my joy, my pride is when I see my job reflected on the little ones, because they're the big challenge. And I guess that changed my perspective of how I thought I was and how I am now.
It's very easy to see. Anybody will just have to come in here for about 20 minutes. It's a very basic principle, and that is that there are resources here that the kids do not have anywhere else. That's all. The school is one thing, and this is another thing. There are materials, there are time and effort that they receive from the teachers. They I mean, this stuff is important to them.
She did it.
She did what?
She swam. She dropped in the water.
She jumped from the diving board. Yes, so for the top.
Anytime a new staff member is introduced, it takes one walk through the cafeteria. The next day, every single kid will remember that staff member's name because that person has become an important part of their lives.
Our school is a very high population ESL population where the parents are working very hard, you know, sometimes 1 or 2 jobs just to get food for their children. So it's hard for them to be able to help their kids, even with homework or just reading, or just to be able to spend like a night with them, just playing games or, I don't know, watching a movie. So I feel like in after school, it gives the kids an opportunity to have those experiences that they really might not be able to have, especially in the summertime, because we go on a lot of trips and it gives them an opportunity to experience things that they may not be able to because of money or just because of time.
I remember when we did the New York show, I was going crazy in the back and all the kids were waiting to and they knew me so well. They're getting ready to go on. I remember I was changing Nicolosi for the Lion King number, and I tripped. So I got up and looked everybody's quiet. Everybody's quiet, and one of the girls said, "Oh, nobody saw anything." So everybody started laughing.
About a year and a half ago, we were doing a pretty big show. I was making most of the props. One of the props ended up being this big foam and wooden rectangle that was meant to look like the side of a building. It was spray painted metal, metallic color. It had kind of the brick lines through it. Not a very convincing prop, but maybe for a kid, yes, okay, there goes a steel or a brick wall siding. So the scene goes on with these props out, and the curtains close, the scene is over, and the prop begins to tilt onto one of the dancers. It's falling extremely slowly because it's made out of foam board and wood, so it's kind of like almost hanging in the air. And this tiny girl, whose name I won't mention, turns up at it, looks at it, and is totally terrified and yells at the top of her lungs, "Ah!" And all the stage hands run out and grab this giant piece of board and pull it back. And of course she's okay. She would have been okay no matter what because the thing is like light as a feather. But she was like borderline traumatized by that.
To have kids come back, we have kids that come back. Anthony, who used to be in program, and I was so happy to see how he grew up into such a fine young man, and he just came by because he wanted me to know something. And he said, "Well, I'm going to go to college. I'm moving out of Brighton Beach. I'm going to go to college." And then he said something that really got to me. He says, "You know what, Miss Shirley? I believe." And I said, "What? What did you say?" He said, "I believe." To me, there is no money that could ever impact me as much as the fact that this child who had a hard time and didn't believe in himself, had flourished, had grown, was going to college, he wanted me to know that he finally believed that he could do something, and he was accomplishing it. And I think that's the greatest thing that could happen.
Hurricane Sandy, because Hurricane Sandy was, it hit a lot of people hard. Sorry. I used to live here in Brighton Beach. Sorry.
I saw my families totally devastated because they lost everything they had. They didn't have much, but what they had was gone.
At the school, we were having a lot of donations come in, so a lot of families came to us for support and resources that they didn't have anymore.
And my families didn't have access to food, they didn't have access to the basics, you know, to blankets, pillows, pajamas. You know, I remember my kids coming to me and telling me that they were hungry and they had nothing to eat.
Miss Shirley organized a clothing drive, food drive. We got tons and tons of donations.
We saw so much need in this community that we gave so much to them and we saw how grateful they were, and I think that has to be one of the most memorable moments in this program.
Rather than, oh, it's just boring. It's not. In this program, they have their own different particular way of making it more for fun, and I guess looking forward to it.
Samson, I don't think you could cook this egg anymore, honey. Is that good? Yeah. Make your eggs well done.
Like certain activities that they do here, it's what they don't do in day school. Like day school, after school. Over there it's shorter, and it's just like, okay, you have your homework done, okay. Here, you get your homework done, okay, you can have some activities.
That's what we need after school. We need this. And not only us, the kids. The kids. This is the best place for them to be.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning. You wake up and you realize you're late.
What?
You're late, so you start rushing to the bathroom. Start rushing, you're like in a crazy maniac way. You just rush.
I mean, we not only help them with homework, we prepare them for tests. We do so much for these kids, and they need the program.
Growth on all levels, recreational growth and academic growth, and it's happening in very many different ways. So the kids learn about different things that are out there, and they learn about themselves, and it helps them choose what they want to do with their time, and that ends up being good for them because they're not sitting around. They're getting something out of it.
I feel like we are such a prime example of what after-school programs should be like, and I feel like a lot of after-school programs, they're kind of undermined and they're not seen as important, but we really are. This community needs us, and we need them.
Not only does after school support the community and the students, it enriches their lives. It changes the kids. When some of the kids come here with like anger or disappointment for things that happen in life, or not understanding how things work, or perhaps not being able to do their work because they can't read or write, and to see that change, that is the reward.
They get to experience other classes, other grades, be in performances. Let them showcase the things that they enjoy that they cannot do during the day school. So I'm very for after school programs.